perfect way. You no longer exist, you're no longer in my
Welcome to AfterMat, your source for WWE PLE recaps. I'm your host, the Secret Boss Cal, and alongside me, as always, I have my tag team partner, the Glam is on Delisha. What's going on, Delisha?
Hello, you know what time it is. Another Monday, another recap.
Yes, and today we'll be talking about the Elimination Chamber, which is our final PLE stop on the road to WrestleMania. And going into it, we knew it would have to be big because like a lot of stuff going into WrestleMania was up in the air. People were getting like kind of disgruntled. They weren't like sure if they're gonna sell out tickets and all that because they weren't sure. But boy, after what happened on Saturday, I almost want to take Aftermath live right after that to talk about it. I mean, it's gonna take a little while for it to get to it. A bunch of great stuff happened before then too. So we'll get to that first. But yeah, that going in, like I was like 4 matches, and like Raj came over and his brother Shiv came over as well to watch it here. I'm like, it's gonna be a big one because nothing's really like set in stone for WrestleMania. It's kind of like the most unclear WrestleMania picture you've had in a long time going in. Especially after Royal Rumble. So that's how I felt. But going in looking at the card, what'd you think, Delisha?
I I figured we were in for a ride, mainly also because of how like tight they were keeping it with the 4 matches. Um, Especially because Chamber is a long match, almost like the Rumble. I think they have the same thing. It was just 4 matches, I believe, or 5. And because the Rumble itself is so long, so I actually like this idea of not trying to like jam pack so much in and let these like matches or stories breathe. So I was also looking forward to seeing, who actually comes out of the chamber. With the men's ones we had, I think we had a more complete idea of who might be the front runners to it, but we still didn't know. The women was a little bit more varied in who could like win. At least to me, that I felt that way. So I was really excited, and I like that we don't really know like what's going into Mania season. Like again, we have like some bullet points that we know might go come about, or we do have one match in stone, which is Gunter versus Jay for sure, because they already declared that. But it was WrestleMania being 2 nights, you can start to see the puzzle pieces start to fall into place, and I think that is kind of what Chamber and then the weeks leading up, because I think we're only 7 weeks away from Mania. So I like not knowing like every single match that's gonna happen and where we're going and how the rest of the year is gonna go. Because while I do think that predictability can be okay in some instances, I don't like it, especially for Mania season. So I'm actually glad for that.
Well, I did receive a nice little surprise earlier, I guess this weekend, right? Um, After what happened, I got a nice call from the other boss, the final boss. The final boss called me. He goes, from one boss to another, I have made something special for you. From the tears of all the Cody crybabies out there, he sent me a nice little bottle of Terramon tequila that I will now be pouring to drink during the show to enjoy and talk about what happened later in the evening. But it was a nice boss. So it was a nice gift from the secret boss or the final boss to the secret boss. So thank you so much, Rock, for sending this over. And I do have a nice little like monologue I will go on later about how it's gonna play out. I'm saying it now because I know Triple H watches this show and he gets ideas from it. So I apologize now, Paul, for what I say because I want you to switch up and make it a little bit more fresh and surprising for me for what's gonna happen coming into WrestleMania and then on. But until then, I gotta ruin some stuff for people. But let's go ahead and start with the first match of the evening. Welcome to Will and Big Time. Thank you for joining us here in the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed the PLE. I know Will being a Cody Crybaby. Well, I don't care about the TOS. The Secret Boss doesn't care about that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I know Will being a Cody Crybaby, he probably has some stuff to cry about tonight, but we'll see when we get to that point. The first match of the evening was the women's Elimination Chamber match, which featured Alexa Bliss, one half of the women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Bailey, and Roxanne Perez, and where the winner will get a shot at either Rhea Ripley or Io Sky at WrestleMania, depending on who wins. I think they're fighting tonight, Monday Night Raw. I'm not sure, but whatever they are fighting, that is when we'll find out who will be facing the winner of this match. So, Delisha, go ahead.
Yeah, so we started out with the chamber with all our contestants, and it was Naomi and Liv to start out the show, or so we thought, because as soon as the bell rang, we hear Jade Cargill's music hit, and everybody immediately was like, "Oh shit!" The crowd, that is, because what seems like forever ago, but months ago, we saw Jay just lying in the carport on top of a car being attacked by somebody. And then I believe 2 weeks ago there was some, CCTV footage that showed Liv and Raquel walking by, and so the fact that Liv wide-eyed is looking scared, and Naomi's looking confused, and I think they showed a couple other participants in the pods just like with their like eyes wide, like oh snaps. And then everyone assumes basically that she's gonna have to live because we were told, hey, they they were the ones who attacked her. No, she immediately goes after Naomi and just beats the crap out of her. I mean, almost I think went through a pod if she had thrown her a little bit harder. And just utter chaos for the start of the show. And then I think we had Bianca just um trying to go for that. Well, I guess it'll be Emmy, not Oscar, because it's television, for being the distraught teammate of not knowing like what's going on. Although if you would think she would immediately catch on to what happened if Jade went after Naomi, but I digress. And so Jade had beat her so much that she could not compete in the match, so she was taken out of the equation, I guess literally and figuratively, as they stretchered her out, or she was getting stretchered out. So the countdown did go down for the next contestant, and lo and behold, by the odds, it was Bianca, who doesn't immediately go after Liv. She immediately rushes to her, I guess, former now tag team partner, as they had lost the belts earlier that week. Um, to go check in on Naomi, and Liv tried to take advantage of that by, I believe she tried to do a quick roll up before Bianca was able to kick out, and then I guess the match kind of like officially starts after that, because I believe they do close the chamber, and they were back and forth between Liv and Bianca. Of course, they have beef. Of course, before Jade came out, they thought that it was Liv who was involved with that beatdown of Jade, but also they just took their tag team titles off of them. So a lot of backed up rage going on for Bianca, and emotional distraught as well, that we would see throughout the match as it progressed. Roxanne Perez was the next one out. It is not clear if she is still. I mean, they haven't really made it set in stone if she is on to the main roster now with her being in this match. But I think she still has a few bit more obligations with NXT to handle. But she is, just almost like either a soft launch to her for the main roster, so to speak. And out next was, I guess right now we will call her arch nemesis, Bailey, who immediately goes after Roxanne. Of course, they have beef that stems almost kind of like from NXT, where Bailey tried to offer mentorship, but Roxanne rejected it because obviously she's the heel. She doesn't need Bailey's help to be the greatness that she is already in her youth. So of course we have the two like storylines going. We have Liv and Bianca on one side going at it, and then we have Bailey and Roxanne going against each other. Bailey almost got the elimination on Roxanne after she tried to do a quick roll up, but Roxanne was able to like get out of that and then do a power power bomb onto the, well, they were calling it a steel floor, but there was padding, so it was probably still underneath, but they were still cushioned to, protect them as much as possible. But I guess I think we kind of got like our first almost like high flying move from Roxanne when she did a frog splash onto Bailey. And because of um the Naomi, I almost said elimination, but she wasn't eliminated. She was just taken out of the equation. That left Bliss to be the last woman in, as we had no eliminations, I believe, at this point when she got in. So it was pretty much all the women in for themselves. And then that's when a lot of the action tried to pick up. Again, Perez trying to almost get Bayley eliminated with doing a crossface submission. But she was able to roll out of the ring. While that doesn't really, there's no breaking of submissions in this match. It's only by pinfall or submission. But the momentum helps break it up, so to speak. Excuse me. But while Bailey was distracted with Perez, I think she was like hanging near the rope, which gave Liv the opportunity to hit her with the Oblivion to eliminate Bailey, giving us the night's first elimination. And then Bianca then chased Liv once again. Once again, and they went up to the pod to where I believe this is the point where Bianca hit her with her braid, which Bianca is known to do from time to time. Just do it in every match, but a lot of the like big name matches, you will see her use her hair. I don't think not this match outside of in a rug match. I don't think that counts as DQ, but this match has no DQ, so it was a mute point. You. I don't know, but the sound of not Bianca's braid on like her opponent's body. I don't know why. It's just so fun to hear. Maybe that makes it sadistic. I don't know, but it's just so fun. Uh, and then I think later on you in the match you can clearly see like the welt on her abdomen, similar to when she hit Sasha with it back at Mania a few years ago. But just to let you know that braid is not soft. Um, but and then after that, I think there was like a little like I guess they call it like the Tower of Doom superplex with I believe it was um Bianca and I think on the bottom suplexing the rest of the guys that are all scattered across the ring corner. And then we hit I think Rez hit I think she hit the pop rocks. I mean no, she got a code breaker from Liv while attempting to pop rocks on Belair, which led to also I think into a twisted bliss, which got Roxanne eliminated, and then we were down to Liv, Bliss, and Bianca. Whew, I know with these matches there's a lot, so I had to do like bullet point notes help me remember. And then I believe during that little melee, I believe Bliss hit Belair with the Sister Abigail, but she got pinned by Liv in a surprise roll up, or the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, as Simon would say from What Culture. Um, and then Morgan tried to go after Belair, but she kicked out, and then those two kind of went after each other pretty much for I guess the next 5 to 10 minutes before because I believe Liv tried twice to hit Bianca with the Oblivion, but Bianca would hold on to the rope, or I believe she would catch her the second time as she tried to go through the rope to lift her up into the KOD, giving her the 1, 2, 3 pin. Overall, I think this match was really good. There was some like slow moments where just like, oh, it's like a little lull going on. But honestly, for it to be a chamber match, it wasn't as brutal as I thought they could be. Honestly, I think outside of Bianca's hair braid whip and the jumps off the pods and whatnot, it really was kind of like a fatal 5-way at this point. I think the most brutality came from Jade, and she wasn't even in the match. But overall, given the action inside the ring, I do think it was pretty good. I did think Bianca was probably one of the front runners to win the chamber. And depending on what goes on tonight, she'll either be facing Liv or Io at Mania. I know a lot of people want um, Bianca and Rhea because they have history. I guess they'll do Bianca and Io as well. But everybody wants that like hoss fight between Belair and Rhea. I personally had wanted it between a heel Bianca and face Rhea, but you never know. They still could do that. Who knows? But either way, I think it's going to be a good match overall. Even if it is Bianca and Io or Bianca and Rhea, although Bianca and Rhea is the more Mania esque match. So I am looking forward to that if that's where we go. But overall, Cal, what did you think of the match overall and its winner and what it might mean for Mania upcoming?
All right, so I like that Jade Cargill came out in the beginning, and I mean, I wasn't fooled at all. I knew she was going after Naomi. Um, of course they had to do that selling angle, which like, oh, live, 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 but then boom, Naomi. And then they showed like, all right, so I don't know if you guys remember, um, me texting you guys or messaging you guys in the group chat about like what was going on during the match. And I was like, or throughout the PLE, and we're saying how like the camera work is awful. Like, what happened to like is the cameraman drunk? Like, what's going on in all these camera cuts? And they're like in the stands, and they're not even showing like the proper action. Well, luckily during the key points of the night of the evening, like throughout the evening, like the major hitting points, the camera was there where it needed to be because the facial expressions of Liv and Naomi when Jade made it was coming out, and then when Jade started brutally attacking, um, you know, uh, Naomi, like they showed Bianca, and like you said, she deserved an Emmy for her acting. Like, yeah, like that was great. The way they captured that, the way they captured everyone's face. They went to every chamber and showed everyone's face, and like Bliss's stoic look, which is like kind of like concerned but also stoic, was very nice. Bailey was like shocked and all that kind of stuff, and Roxanne was just like however Roxanne is. Like I think that camera work was done very well. I think the most brutal part of the match, aside from that, the hair whip on Liv, was when Naomi. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I guess I was gonna say Naomi got hit, but when Jade closed the like cage sliding door onto Naomi as she's being pulled out of the ring, that was probably the most brutal part of that women's match, or maybe even of the not of the evening because we know what'll come later. But yeah, and that was great. I enjoyed it. I always say that I'm so annoyed by Bianca's hair. I've been saying it for like forever. Like I think either when she turns heel or some heel should like cut it off. Either when she turns heel, she gets rid of it, or when someone turn or when she's facing like a really good heel, they'll cut it off. But it was cool to see it being used by as the hair whip. That was a really good moment in the match. And then also, unfortunately, unfortunately when she Liv pinned Alexa, she used like when wrestlers cheat, they hold the ropes. Instead, she held Bianca's hair as like leverage to get the pin on Alexa. So that was pretty cool to see. Yeah, that's also another thing. The best part of yesterday, or the end PLE, I'm guessing big time is saying is that there's no Raquel, which has made sense. And Will's also saying that it's probably Bianca. And I was saying that I was believing that too, that it might be Bianca that's behind this, and behind Jade's attack, and like Will saying that Rhea went after. I'm sorry, not Rhea. Jade went after Naomi because she just happened to replace her. But I think it will eventually come out that it was Bianca, which I guess she had to do before her match. I'm pretty sure she was like in like a fatal 4-way or triple threat match during that moment, or like a run the gauntlet match, whatever it was. That's when she saw it happen. Like she saw Jade laid out, and she's like about to run out of the ring and wasn't sure what to do or not. So either she'd have to attack Jade before that match, or she ordered Naomi to do it. So if that happens, you'll get your heel turn for Bianca to face Rhea at WrestleMania as a heel, which would be a lot better to see with Naomi in her corner, as a heel. Because like I think Jade and Rhea, and then like maybe Jade will come out and help Rhea. Or not that Rhea needs help, but whatever. It might be like something like that, kind of that aspect. And then there's also talks of there being a triple threat match involving Io in the main event of WrestleMania, or the women's championship match. Will just mentioned that as well, but there's already talks of that happening. That could happen. I'd love to see it because I'm like I told you, Io's grown on me faster than anyone else. Like you guys are always talking about Io. She was born. I left. Kyrie is my girl from where that group is called, Damage Control. I love Kyrie, but she barely does anything. I don't even get to see her smile anymore. Dakota's been like dead or whatever. So I barely get to see her. And I know she just came back and fought Lyra Valkyria. That was cool. But now Io is like she's like probably the top. I wouldn't be surprised if she wins the women's award this year for the AfterMat Awards because she's been amazing. She's really carried it. She's quietly carried the company. I feel for the women's division at least. I mean, she's quietly carried it. For this whole past year. But I don't know. So it would be cool to see her I mean, because I don't see anything else for her, like for WrestleMania. What kind of match would she have at WrestleMania? I don't know. I don't see it. So they would have to make it a triple threat. But I think seeing Bianca and Rhea in a singles match would be great with all the story they could tell. But if they do make it a triple threat, they would have someone in each corner. Like Rhea would have Jade. Bianca would have Naomi, and like Io would have Dakota or something like that in their corner. So I guess that could happen. But Bianca winning, I wasn't really happy. Obviously, I wanted Alexa or Liv to win. Even Roxanne, I think Roxanne was also besides Liv, because Liv took a lot of brutality in that match. Besides Liv, I think Roxanne was the MVP of this match, and she's been phenomenal in her 2 last PLE matches. She obviously set the record for the Women's Royal Rumble, being in the match, and she was great in this match. Right, so she was slowly growing on me in the NXT. Like I wasn't really a fan of hers, but I was more of a Cora Jade fan when we talk about those two. But her on the main roster has been a breath of fresh air. When Io wasn't carrying it, like Roxanne's doing these little things in her, start up. She's like a great upstart, and she, if we had a Rookie of the Year award, not an NXT award. I mean, I guess she could still win the NXT award. I think she won last year, but whatever. I think she's gonna be great. And she has a bright future. And even though she's smaller than my goddess Alexa Bliss, she's like 3 foot tall. So it's funny to watch her how small she is. And like when Raj and Shiver, they're like, that's how small. They're like, how small are all these women? They're like, imagine her standing next to like Raquel or somebody. I don't even know. I don't know who the tallest woman in the division is. Maybe Charlotte Flair. I don't know, or Rhea Ripley.
Raquel.
Or Raquel, yeah. So like
as the tallest, yeah.
So imagine them standing next to her. It's like Rey Mysterio standing next to Great Khali kind of thing. That's how funny it is. But yeah, it was
it's like Zelina next to Braun Strowman.
Yeah, or like Alexa when Alexa was attacked. Remember when we went to Royal Rumble? There's a mixed match, whatever it's called, mixed match challenge. But yeah, this of the 2 Elimination Chambers match, this was the better one. And I always talk about how it gets so sloppy when there's so many more people in the match, especially when it comes to women. This was very good, hard hitting, no mistakes, no botches. It was not that I remember seeing, because I usually call them out right away. I think this was one of the better Elimination Chamber matches without having all that crazy. Let's go through pods. Let's go through this. Let's go through like that was just great to see. With the brutality in the beginning, with the slight brutality at the end. Other than that, it was great. That's all I can say. I really enjoyed this match. Oh, and this is the first time like in a long time. So I was like, there's no way they're gonna have 2 women's matches in a row, but they did. And it's the first time, which is good for us because it went you, me, and it never went. We don't have that. We haven't had that in the longest time. So it's finally good to see that because the next match was the women's tag team match featuring the women's the WWE champion Tiffany Stratton and the returning Trish Stratus legend for her 25-year anniversary in Toronto. Well, like 25 years in the company, but it's in Toronto, which is her home. Against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. This match was not that great, but it started out with all 4 women, in the ring, kind of like taunting each other, and then eventually, I believe, Trish started the match, and she was dominating early on, and then a little while later, Nia Jax and Candice LeRae took over, and they cut the ring in half and pretty much dominated Trish for a really long time to the point where you thought like, oh god, is she really gonna get beaten in her home state or home country? But obviously she gets the hot tag in a little later, and Tiffany comes in like a house of fire and starts dominating the match as you would expect the women's champion to do. Eventually they ended up getting their moves in. Like Trish Stratus got the because I think that the match changed when Trish Stratus tried to go for her with Stratisfaction or whatever, but Nia Jax turned it into a slam, and that's when they took the advantage until the hot tag happened. Tiffany then came in and started doing like a lot of crazy moves, including a backspring hand to elbow and an Alabama slam on Candice LeRae, and then hit a devastating spinebuster on Nia Jax. And then what else happened? I think that's when the crowd started going crazy, and then she tagged in Trish. Trish came back in. Nia got a little bit of offense until then Trish started doing all her signature moves, such as the Stratosphere and then a Super Stratisfaction off the top rope. Then she tagged in Trish had Trish tagged in Tiffany, who hit the PME, the prettiest moonsault ever, and got the pin, which I was kind of upset about because I thought, hey, shouldn't you know Trish have gotten a pin in her whole own home nation, but unfortunately she did not. I really would like to see Trish get the pin there, but since she did not, it kind of sucks. And hello, Solo. There's Solo. How you doing? Um, so yeah, the winners are Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton, which is a cute tag team to see. They're very fun to watch, and I like how they had the whole matching outfits and they threw it out to the audience the night before or whatever it was. It was great to see, and I enjoyed it. I honestly like the one bad part about the match is that I think Trish Stratus should have gotten the pin. Unfortunately, she did not. But what can I do? I can't really, you know. I guess I can write to Triple H and tell him how I feel, or I'm sure he knows because he watches the show. But go ahead, Felicia. What do you think about this match?
The match was fine. Was it PLE worthy? Not really, but it was fun to see Trish get in the ring. What I saw was after her first one in like almost 2 years. Because I don't remember. I forget when the whole Zoe Stark was. And this woman is 49 years old. 49 looks great. That yoga and Pilates is really doing her good. But I also enjoyed seeing Nia use Trish as a ragdoll. That was pretty fun. To the point that at some point I was like, I just want Nia to win. Actually, it was nice of her to let Candace get a few licks in, but it was pretty much the Nia show until pretty much near the end. But I do think they all worked really well together, and I know everyone kind of like want to compare Tiff to Charlotte, but she kind of is the in more Trish realm, just a little bit more athletic. Well, I guess you could say Charlotte athleticism, with Trish's sex appeal. I guess you could say. Of course, the blonde hair probably helps or doesn't help depending on how you're looking at it. But I mean, she is in her own lane for sure. But if we're gonna make comparisons, I kind of think she's like a little blend of those two, character wise. But yeah, like I said, the match was fine. I didn't think it was PLE worthy, but it wasn't like atrocious to watch.
Yeah, this stuffing could have been on SmackDown, but I can understand why they had it on the PLE because it was Trisha's
Oh
home
yeah,
country. So
totally understand.
would I have rather seen another match? I don't know. This was a nice breakup of all the night. I thought it was a good thing, and seeing them all go at it was not bad.
Yeah, yeah, because the name of the chamber and the unsanctioned match, there was supposed to be violence written all over this night. So this is a nice like little palate cleanser
Hmm.
before more violence.
Well, the next match was an unsanctioned match, so it was featuring Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn, two men who are best friends. I guess might still be best friends. I don't know. But they've done this a million times, and they did it now 1,000,001. So, Delisha, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's the the sad and true story of Sammy and Kevin of the love you hate you relationship that they have going. Well, I know it didn't start in NXT, but if you're just strictly going off WWE, right off the back from KO's, I think it was his debut takeover, to where he turned on Sammy, and they've been back and forth with each other ever since, between being best friends and bitter enemies. And it was bitter enemies tonight because KO a few weeks ago power driver Sammy's neck into the mat, and he's like, basically, you basically want to kill me, and this is something I cannot forgive. We shall see years to come. No one ever stays bitter enemies, kayfabe wise, in in wrestling. But we started off with to set the scene. I guess they dimmed the lights to where it was not pitch black, but it was like black in the ring. Ref does not have a shirt on. His ref shirt. I mean, he was shirtless, but he didn't have the black and white shirt on to show that this is not an official match. He was just in a black like Under Armour esque tee. Um, and I was like, what's the ring black too? I don't think it was, but they were both in their. Well, I think KO was in his normal attire, and Sammy was just wearing black as well. Um, but quickly, we went straight into punch, punch, kick, kick. Um, and then not too long after that, we get steel chairs, hockey sticks, tables. I swear within 5 minutes of the match, it might have been a little longer, but it felt like 5 minutes. And of course, because we're in Canada and, and whatever, the hockey stick got a big pop because hockey. Uh, but they didn't stay in the ring for long. They quickly were out into the ring as they were no, not being heckled, being cheered by the fans as they go through. I guess like the floor seats through to like the little gaps that they have. Um, and then I believe it was after almost was like trying to choke him again. Pretty much, this match was Kevin trying to end Sammy's life if we weren't watching wrestling. But this kind of sparked Zayn to kick it into a different gear when he started walloping with like trash cans and suplexing through like I think two different tables at one point, which got the crowd again riled up, chanting, "This is awesome!" Because I think W fans we are all a little sadistic because we engage in the violence. um, but almost was able to catch a breather as they made their way back towards closer to the ring where he hit Sammy with the ring bell. And I think the television monitor too. I think the one that like sits on the announce desk. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. And then um they eventually returned back into the ring where I think Sammy was going for a power bomb or like a flip or some sort, but Kevin was able to reverse that. Excuse me. And then we would see him head back out to the outside where he had stacked up two tables, so like double decker style. And at a time, I don't remember what Sammy was trying to do, but KO just like pushed him where he like kind of like flipped over onto the tables, which was brutal to watch, but it was still a really cool spot to see. Again, like I said, wrestling fans we're all a little sadistic. um, and then Zayn, I don't know if this was like actual real or just like in storyline. You can see as he landed off the table, he like kind of like freezes and then starts like reaching for his neck. I mean, there may be actual damage to his neck thanks to all the wrestling he's done over the years, but he like whether it was kayfabe or not, he really sold that aspect, and they talked about that throughout the night as well. And then again, I believe KO started to really hone into what they call him like the prize fighter. But I mean, there wasn't a lot of fighting going along, as like using weapons as much as he can to get Sammy to stay down, which again involved more steel chairs, which kind of, and then he did a dragging Sammy back to the ring, did a fisherman's brain buster from Sammy, and still Sammy was able to kick out from that somehow. They do call him like the ultimate underdog, so I guess it kind of puts into that he like will not quit. Um, and then after that, he did like this like the standing did the like the stunner, but then once again um Sammy would kick out, and then Sammy would try to counter and do the I always have trouble with it, Halua kick, but KO had pulled the ref in the way, knocking him out. Which I guess still doesn't really mean much because this is an unsanctioned match. So even if you can just do whatever. Uh, excuse me. I don't know why I'm seasoning so much. But a second ref did come off the ring pretty quickly. After Zayn tried to do a try to get a pin on Owens. Or I think Owens tried to get pin on Sammy, but he kicked out. And then he got mad at the ref for some reason and like clotheslined him, which prompted a third ref to come out. At this point, I'm like, I'm gonna stand out here and then y'all just go. I don't want to get hit, but that's just me. But again, I think we had tables set up again in the ring where KO just loves putting Sammy through tables, put him through another fisherman's buster through the table, and crawled over to try to go to the pin. But again, Sammy kicks out, and then he caught a hula kick from Sammy, which Owens then kicked out as well. And then I don't know who put this under the ring, but Zayn then goes to pull out a barbed wire wrapped steel chair, which of course they got the crowd excited. They're like, "Oh, even me!" I was like, "Oh snap!" Which he smashed against Evan Owens' back before for propping it up into like the center position, and then did like a little toe drop or uh tripping maneuver to like have KO like land. It wasn't really face first, but like face first into the chair. But again, I don't know how real these barbed wires are. If they're like prop barbed wires, but even if so or if not, Owens again sold it as he cried out in agony. And then I believe Zayn then put him through two other chairs with the Blue Thunder Brown, which Owens kicked out of that. So they were just kicking out of like everything. Neither one of them wanted to go down. But we and okay, no, cease. And but Owens didn't go for the pop up power bomb. Say that 5 times fast. Before hitting him into the ring post, and then another power bomb, and then I think there was no power bomb after that, and I think that was the one that finally got him the 3 count. So KO is your winner, and he was not finished as he was being told by producers and security to leave. He did not. He went back into the ring to try to mess up Sammy some more. Again, in his life basically. And then we get the music we probably all been waiting to hear for quite some time, which is that of the Legend Killer Randy Orton, who returns to the ring, and as usually in heel fashion, they would just like leave the ring or try to get out. But KO, being the prize fighter is, he's just like, nope, let's go, and they begin fighting in the ring again with producers and stuff trying to back them out. I believe I don't know if he tried to do the proud driver again on Orton, but it looked like Orton was gonna go for a chair shot, and he was like, you know what, nope. Back to the corner of the ring, was about to give him the punt, but the producers got there in time, so we didn't get any more punting today from Randy. I don't think we've seen that move in almost 10 years, but back when he was the actual Legend Killer. But so they were able to get KO out. Overall, this match was really brutal. It really lived up to its unsanctioned title. It might have been the most brutal. It probably, I would say, it's probably the most brutal match of the night, given the chamber that we were in that's supposed to be so brutal. But I really enjoyed this match. These two, they are incapable of putting on bad matches, especially when it involves each other. So I knew we were in for a treat, and the treat was utter chaos in the form of weapons. I enjoyed it. I don't know what this means for Sammy going forward, but it looks like we're setting up Orton versus KO at Mania, which again is going to be a treat to watch as well. What about you, Kyle? Did you enjoy this match, and did it live up to the brutality of an unsanctioned match where they wanted to kill each other?
No, actually, I was pretty let down by this match, to be honest. There's no blood, but I can understand why there was no blood when we get to the end of the night. Yes, to make it more hard hitting at the end. But yeah, I thought this match was kind of a letdown because leading into this match, I saw a lot of on Twitter, I saw a lot of these old El Generico Kevin Steen matches, and I'm like, oh, these are really good. But this was kind of a letdown for me. But now that the way you're describing it, that what Will's saying is the best match of the evening, and then that he felt was the best match of the evening, I might have to go back and watch it. But I was really let down by this match. I thought it was like not enough brutality for all the years of pent up aggression and all this kind of stuff. Expect a lot more out of it than what I saw, especially with no blood. So, yeah, I gotta really probably go back and watch it again because I just thought it was like another match. Like it was just they didn't use the unsanctioned part of it to to the degree they should, like what I see in AEW. But obviously AEW is a lot less safe than they are here, so that could be one thing that could go for it. But I'd rather see an AEW unsanctioned match when you're talking about an unsanctioned match in AEW than in WWE. And to answer your question about the barbed wire, actually, I just recently watched a video yesterday about Maven explaining some of the tricks and trades of the wrestling industry about how the announcers table off the top of the Hell in Cell kind of works, how cinder blocks work, how thumbtacks work, and one of the things he mentioned was barbed wire. And the one thing they do for barbed wire is that it is real barbed wire, but they cut the barbs like almost in half, even maybe less than half, so that it's just like a little nub, so it doesn't hurt as much. So that's what they do for the barbed wire thing. So that was interesting to know because I didn't know that before. Yeah, like that wasn't like they did not bleed. Oh, it did not need blood. No, I think it did. I think it needed blood. I think it definitely needed blood because it was such a. It's supposed to be an unsanctioned grudge match after all these years. Like well, what made this different from any other match? Why couldn't it just been a regular match? It could have been a regular match. Or a falls kind of anywhere match. It could have been one
I
of
was gonna
those.
say they wouldn't have been able to use all that stuff in a
No,
regular one-on-one.
but if there's a falls kind of anywhere match, they could have, right? So that would have been, or an I quit match. It would have been any of that stuff. Welcome, Randall. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so I thought it was kind of a letdown, in my opinion. But I guess I'll have to go watch it again and see if it was as good as you guys all say it was, which I don't think it was, because the secret boss is always right, and you guys are usually wrong, or always wrong. I mean, all right. That brings us to the main event of the evening, which is the men's elimination chamber match featuring Damian Priest, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, John Cena, and Drew McIntyre, and where the winner of this match will go on to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, which most likely will be the main event of WrestleMania, being the second night of WrestleMania. And yeah, so I started out with Seth Rollins and I believe Drew McIntyre in the ring, and immediately Drew McIntyre went for a Claymore, he missed. Seth Rollins went for a curb stomp, and he missed. And then it just went back and forth. Some good action back and forth. It was okay. Until Damian Priest came in. Then he started working at Drew McIntyre, the man he eliminated from the Royal Rumble. So they have some beef going into it. Seth Rollins was kind of out of it at this point because, he's been wrestling pretty hard since the beginning of the match. So Drew and Damian went out for a while until I believe Logan Paul came in next. Logan Paul was kind of a letdown in this match. I always look forward to Logan Paul in these crazy matches like the Royal Rumble and maybe like a Money in the Bank ladder match. Anything where he could do something crazy. He really didn't do anything crazy until we'll talk about in a few minutes what he did. But I expected a lot more from Logan Paul as well in these kind of matches. So he actually went after everybody at this point. I think he threw out a few buckshot lariats. This was all until Cena came to the ring, and I was like, holy crap, will this be like the first time we actually see all 6 men of the Elimination Chamber in the ring at once? I don't think that's happened since Shayna Baszler eliminated every single person. She was the last person to come in the Elimination Chamber her year, and she eliminated every single person. So it was all 6 women in the ring at one point. But I don't think that's happened in the men's history ever. I don't know, Will probably correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so then Cena came in and started clearing everyone out. Like you'd start doing like AAs and his whatever that move is that he does where he puts them up, and right before he does the what is it called? 5 knuckle shuffle, whatever that move is. That I don't know what they call that move, but that little suplex that he does. He did that. He did some AAs, and they finally did that suplex into Logan Paul. Then went for the final 5 knuckle shuffle on Logan Paul. And then I believe Drew McIntyre just claymored him out of nowhere, which is crazy and great to see because I was like, oh wow, like Cena might get eliminated, which I didn't think was gonna happen, but I was like, the people who don't know wrestling as well, I was like, oh, that could be a moment where Cena gets eliminated. And as Drew McIntyre goes for the pin, he gets rolled up again by Damian Priest in like a crucifix pin and gets 1, 2, 3, and he gets pinned, and that's about it. And he's shocked, so that's gonna start up obviously a feud between them, or continues their feud into WrestleMania where they'll probably have a match against each other. And then what happened next? I'm trying to think. McIntyre, I think then before he left, he hit Priest with a Claymore, I believe it was. And then that's when Paul went up to the top rope, but then he looked at Priest, and he looked at the pod, and he went up to the top of the pod and did one of his worst 5-star frog splashes I've ever. Oh, it can't be a 5-star. It's a frog splash because 5 stars are all Van Dam. He did a frog splash, which is a little worse looking because I think he wanted to get out more. He likes to jump out farther than most people. He likes to jump out far like RVD does, so he can get that full motion in his like leap. But since it was such a close jump, he didn't really get to get that full breadth of motion. So it looked like a really bad frog splash, and he hit Damian Priest with it and got the pin. Then he I think Logan Paul rolled off of him and waited for Punk to come out of his pod because Punk was the last person to come out. Punk and Paul went at it for a little bit, and he threw Paul into the cage and knocked him out, which caused Punk to look at Cena, who's standing up in the middle of the ring, and then looking at each other and smiling. And you could see Cena mouth, "I miss you, I missed you," and then and Punk smiles and he goes, "I missed you too." And then Punk gets into the ring, and they face off, they hug, and they're about to fight, but Rollins comes in and hits Punk and brings him down, and then Cena tries to pull Seth off of Punk, and Punk goes, "Stay back, he's mine. He belongs to me. He's all mine," or whatever. And he starts fighting Punk in the corner again, but then Cena pulls him off again, and then I think Cena I forgot how Cena gets Rollins out of the match, but I think he just goes for an 8A. He might have hit him with the AA there. I'm not sure, but he got Rollins out, and then Paul comes into the ring with a double buckshot lariat to or no, actually no. They're about to fight each other, but that's when Logan Paul comes in with a double buckshot lariat to Cena and Rollins, knocking them both out, and then he goes back to the outside of the ring, goes for a buckshot lariat onto CM Punk, but CM Punk kind of reverses it into a GTS and pins Logan Paul, and there goes Logan Paul. That leaves Punk, Cena, and Seth Rollins. That's when Punk and Cena team up on Rollins to hit the heart, the heart attack, which is pretty cool to see in Canada. Paying homage to Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, the Hart Foundation in Canada, so which is nice to see. They started they started to fight again, back and forth, trading Anaconda Vice, and then STFU. I guess STF at this point of the evening. There's STF at this point of the evening. And then Cena went to the top of the ropes. No, it's not Cena. No, I think Cena went to the top, but got pulled down, and then Punk went to the top and went for a crossbody, but Cena caught him, did a roll through and into an AA, went for the pin. Cena kicked. And then Punk kicked out. And this is when Cena went to the top. But that's when Rollins caught him and then hit him with a buckle bomb into the chamber, and then threw him into a pod, and that allowed Rollins to go after Punk. He actually hit the pedigree and a stomp, and Punk still kicked out. So there's 3 finishing moves that have happened to Punk, and he's kicked out. And then Rollins getting very frustrated. Then Cena comes back into the ring, and he distracts Rollins, which allows Punk to hit a GTS, which he falls down and kind of stumbles, which into John Cena, who hits an attitude adjustment, and then Punk pins Seth Rollins, which leaves just CM Punk and John Cena 1-on-1. Crowd starting to go crazy, and both of them start going back and forth. I think this is when CM Punk hits a GTS, Cena kicks out, Cena hits an attitude adjustment, Punk kicks out. Then Cena goes for STF. As he's going for the STF and pulling Punk's leg towards the middle of the ring, Punk grabs onto the ropes and pulls himself out of the ring and turns around and kicks Cena to force him back to the other side of the ring. And as he's turning around and with his head still outside the ring, Seth Rollins was yet to leave the cage or the chamber, comes and hits another curb stomp onto Punk, then leaves the chamber. Cena sees Punk being knocked out, takes advantage of it, goes over, grabs him, pulls him back to the middle of the ring, puts the STF onto CM Punk, who does not tap out, but he unfortunately, to many fans' chagrin, he falls asleep. He gets choked out basically, and Cena is your winner of the Elimination Chamber, and that will be the person to go and face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Okay, so Will says that the year Goldberg won, the year that Goldberg was in it, all 6 men came out. Thank you. Okay, so what'd you think, Delisha?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed the men's chamber. I feel like much like the Rumble, there was a lot more interwoven stories put in with the men. I got to kind of stem from the Rumble into the Chamber as well. Even Logan Paul, I mean, not really stories per se, but because he pretty much was like smacking around CM Punk, they kind of had that inbuilt with that, and because he had history with Seth as well, so there was that. And I feel like you could feel that, like, storyline wise, that why these men wanted to win to go on. I mean, of course, you want to go on and you have a Mania match, but it really felt like they really wanted it. And then with the addedness of this being Cena's last year as a active member of the WWE roster, it also heightens up that sense because he didn't get to win the Royal Rumble. So it kind of was more, I don't know if cathartic is the right word, but to for him to win and get that last Mania match. I mean, again, this is wrestling. You never say never, but as an active member of the roster and not as like like a legend still, so to speak, that he will be in the ring. I think it's gonna be very special especially for, which is weird to say, those young kids who've never really seen him in the ring. I did also enjoy the how we got there with so I think again Steph lose because of his focuses on Punk basically
Hmm.
again, right?
Which is
Or
kind
did
of
I
like
make that
which
up?
is kind of like why Roman lost, So
Yeah. They just cannot let it go, and I do like that aspect of Seth's character right now. Like, no matter what, it is on site with Punk, and he almost felt like Drew like last year. So I guess Seth Punk is kind of our Drew Punk of this year, maybe. I guess I don't know, but he can't let it go, and it's costing him key moments for what he's trying to accomplish, which is get back into that like big Mania match, even though he was the champ. Never mind. Uh, but like being in that upper echelon marquee match fold. So I don't know what that means for those two again going forward. I do love that he was yelling out to Punk to die, and I
mhm.
want to be like, I don't know if you ever noticed this, Seth, but no one really uh gets that much pressure off of John Cena's cross maneuvers.
Mhm.
It's not locked in that tight, guys. I'm sorry, but but I just thought that was just funny. It wasn't supposed to be a funny moment, but it was. And I am looking forward to these next couple of weeks to also fill in these Mania cards, but also for the main titles.
Speaking of the main title, they showed the highlights of the match, and during that, the welcome Shug, how are you doing? That's actually Solo. Solo Sokoa is the baby's name, and they found her on the street, and Felicia proceeded to say, "I love you, Solo," and the baby responded, so that's how they got it. Speaking of what happened, so then as the highlights were being shown, the chamber is being raised, and they showed Cena celebrating, and then Cody's music hits, and Cody comes out to the ring like the little bitch that he is, and then they look at each other, they kind of have a moment together, saying like, "I'll see you at WrestleMania, it's gonna be great," and then the Rock's "If You Smell" hits, but then it goes into like the Travis Scott song. Then and Travis Scott comes out. Then it remixes back into the Rock song. It's very well done. Unfortunately, why was Travis Scott there? I'll get to that in a second. Why he's there, but uh, he comes out, and then the Rock comes out. The final boss comes out, looking all great in his outfit. It was a really cool outfit. They both come down to the ring, and Rock gets to the mic and goes, "Listen, I want you to be my brother, and most of all, I want you to be my champion. All I'm asking for you is your soul. So what I'm gonna accept. I'm gonna open my arms and you to come give me a hug. And if you don't hug me, your dream dies tonight for a second time. Meaning, like, I guess he's talking about his father, the American dream. But yeah, so then Cody gets on the mic and he says some bullshit that no one really cares about. And the only thing people cared about is him saying, "Go fuck yourself" to The Rock. and the whole crowd popped at that. Well, basically only the Cody crybabies popped at that. Um, yeah, he wants the soul, man. He'll take a Diddy style too if he has to. But anyway, yeah. So everyone pops at that. You see Cena going crazy in the background, going, "Yeah, yeah, like this, you're great, like you got him." And he's like, "Oh, he told you, Rock. He told you, Rock." And fans are going crazy. Then Cody, remember the whole time in the back, Travis Scott's stoic. I'm glad for that. Like he didn't do something. I mean, he is sprinkling sage everywhere, which is kind of stupid. But other than that, he's like he didn't mess up this whole moment that was going to happen. So then Cody turns to Cena and he goes, he points to Cena, goes, and then points to WrestleMania saying like that's gonna be us at WrestleMania. We're gonna have a moment. Cena extends his arm, gives him a good dap. They hug, and from this angle, you see now. Thank God the camera work went back to good camera work with the facial expressions. And zoomed up on Cena's face, and now it's just a stone cold killer face. Like he's pissed, like evil Cena. And then it goes to The Rock, and Rock does the cut the neck and puts up a 2 this time. And Cena backs off of him while smiling and happy, and then kicks Cody in the nuts, and then proceeds to beat the crap out of him. Cody's Rolex falls off, the one that Nick Khan gave back to Cody after he came back, the one that Dusty Rhodes pawned all those years ago, and Cena starts beating him with that. Rock is just watching it all go down. Then about this point, like Cody's bloody. Cena rips open his shirt, starts choking him with his own tie. Travis Scott, if you haven't seen it, Travis Scott gets a good shot in on Cody's face really badly. It slaps him. And then they hold him down. Travis Scott holds down Cody's upper body. Cena holds down Cody's lower body. Rock comes around, takes off his weightlifting belt that says Cody's Soul with Dusty's death date on it, and he starts whipping Cody over and over. Then he takes the blood and wipes the belt with it, and then he poses. And then Cena poses also. You see Travis Scott in the background, posing on the ropes, but The Rock is standing over Cody, and Cena's face, a foot is on Cody's face, and he's standing over him as well. And it was just a great picture opportunity. I wish I was there on the hard camera side, and just taking that picture because that was cool. And then got another picture again of the three of them with Cena this time holding up the belt before he just throws it onto Cody, disrespecting the belt. And then he walks away. They all walk away together. Take one more picture together on the like entranceway. At this point, McAfee and Michael Cole are in the ring helping Cody. Don't forget that Michael Cole did curse, saying like Cena doesn't need to do this shit or whatever. So they are letting go with making it more like realistic, kind of like emotional and all that kind of stuff. And then it kind of ends the night like that. But we can talk about the press conference in a second. I don't like how they're doing the press conferences like with The Rock because he is also like a board member, so he kind of acts like a board member at the press conference. So that kind of takes away from the whole story. So don't watch The Rock's press conference if you can, but watch Cena's press conference or lack thereof because he came in mean mugged. All he did was take the mic, drop it, and then walk out. So he's staying in character. The Rock, unfortunately, as a board member, has to field questions. I wish he wouldn't field it. I wish he would field it more like Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman did during their press conferences. But he is the type of guy Rock is. He's just trying to be friendly and how he is as a corporate person, as opposed to like a corporate McMahon, Mr. McMahon, as you see on the TV aspect. But other than that, this is great. I'm going to go into my monologue after I get Delicia's opinions about this. I'll tell you. So I'd love for you guys to stick around, but I will be spoiling what's going to happen from now until WrestleMania. But like I said, since Triple H watches this show, he'll probably change it. So if you want to hear what the script is supposed to be like, I'll tell you guys in a second. Delicia, what do you think of this whole?
I thought this whole segment was great. As I knew, I was still on the fence on whether they would actually do it because for the longest they wouldn't. But as soon I don't remember what I was talking to. I was like, I said Cena is smiling way too much more than normal than his like normal happy-go-lucky old boy charm self, and I was like, they're actually gonna do it. And then when he went the hug and did the whole what me and my other friend was calling the Winter Soldier turn, but it was because that was the only point of reference. I know a lot of people were doing like the anime was it is it Vegeta maybe or Dragon Ball Z memes, but I didn't watch that, so my point of reference was going to be the Winter Soldier. So it got me really excited. Like I said, I was already excited to see how the next couple of weeks unfold. Now I'm like really excited. And this is why I always tell people, especially, I mean, you can't really win with the internet wrestling community, but this is why I say don't get upset too much until you see how a story plays out. Um, and a lot of people were just saying, oh, Cody has nothing to do, and we don't know, like, because we don't know what's going on with Mania. And just like, chill out and let's just see how things unfold before we start like nitpicking everything. But like I said, it's the internet community. It doesn't matter what you do. But yeah, how they played it out was really great. And I remember at first when The Rock was told Cody he wanted his soul, I was a little put off and be like, "What the heck do you mean?" Even though like as I thought about it, I knew he meant like I wanted to be like quote unquote my corporate champion, so to speak. But but now it's like really came full circle, yeah, I guess, from that moment. And again, I mean, again, you explained to me when it happened why Travis Scott was there, but he still didn't belong there. It kind of took you in and out of the moment. Took me in and out of the moment a little bit. But because like he hadn't really done much in wrestling before that, besides just coming out with like Jey Uso or just coming out holding out a belt or doing almost nothing. So that's why I was like it didn't really fit in that moment. But hey, he was there. It happened. Whatever. But I'm really excited to see how these next couple of weeks go. And it, you still have kind of Cody. You kind of thrust him back almost into an underdog position, but not quite so because he still is the champion. But it does feel almost. It almost feels like the chase that you kind of want your face champion to have, so to speak. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly. To like give them something to do rather than being the whole smiley face kissing babies type of champion. So again, we gives him something to fight for, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, hey girl, hey. What's going on, Rain? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. All right, so here I go. Well, the reason why Travis Scott's there, I believe Travis Scott. So now Cena should get a whole new makeover, right? No more jorts. If he does wear jorts, it'll be black jorts, right? They'll have new shirts because I think they have Break a Wish. That WWE just trademarked Break a Wish. So I think they're gonna have like his new shirts say Break a Wish. Um, and he's gonna have a new entrance music too. And the new entrance music is gonna be done by Travis Scott, I believe. That is why Travis Scott's being featured so heavily because I think Travis Scott's gonna do Cena's new entrance music. All right, after what's gonna happen? We'll get to WrestleMania, and Cena will finally beat Cody Rhodes and win the championship. Which that will start the only point where Cody Rhodes ever people generally liked him is when he's on the chase again, right? So Cena will be the champion from then until SummerSlam. At SummerSlam, he'll have to face, which I hope this is the case. He'll have to fight CM Punk for the championship on night 2 of SummerSlam. I hope I'm there. It's gonna be very expensive, but I hope I can afford to go to both nights of SummerSlam because it is in New Jersey, so I hope I can see it. Night 2 of SummerSlam will be Cena versus CM Punk for the World Championship, and because The Rock will always be in Cena's corner for the most part because he sold out. We will have. Oh wait, the reason I forgot to mention what's gonna happen at WrestleMania. I gotta wait for Alicia to come back for this because I wanted her to hear this. Unless she can hear me, I don't know if she can still hear me. But what's gonna happen at WrestleMania? This is how Cena's gonna beat CM Punk. I mean, is gonna be Cody Rhodes. It's gonna be a whole other Avengers type thing that we had like last year. Except this year, it's gonna be Stone Cold coming back to destroy The Rock because Stone Cold said, "I will be there for you, Cody, if you ever need me," like that. So this time, Stone Cold's gonna be there, and he's gonna disrupt The Rock from from affecting Cody Rhodes. However, this group needs a third man. And that third man will be revealed at WrestleMania, and that third man will most likely be Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is going to come there, and he's going to be like, everyone's going to think he's going to come to help Cody, but he's going to turn on Cody because of all the stuff that he put him through. Kind of like Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens like, hey, you kept, we did all this for you last year, and now you fell in league with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline and all that. So Seth Rollins is going to turn on Cody, and that's going to be the third man of this whole Rock, Cena, and Seth Rollins will be the third Hollywood guy in a way. And so Cena's going to carry that championship into SummerSlam and fight Cody Rhodes. fight CM Punk. CM Punk knows he's gonna be outmanned there, so he's gonna cash in his favor and ask Paul Heyman to bring back Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns will make his triumphant return again at SummerSlam, because I think he'll be at WrestleMania, but then he'll make the next return again. He won't be seen from WrestleMania to SummerSlam. He'll be seen at SummerSlam, and he'll come and like help CM Punk defeat John Cena by neutralizing The Rock and Roman and Seth Rollins. And then CM Punk will be champion until next WrestleMania. We'll see that. We'll see like maybe Cody Rhodes. I mean, we might see. I don't know. It might be Seth Rollins and The Rock versus Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns night 1 of WrestleMania, and then have The Rock versus either Cody or Roman night 2 of WrestleMania 42, and that's how the script is supposed to go from now until WrestleMania 42 with respect to these guys, these 4 major players or 5 major players that I mentioned. Mark it down. I know Triple H is pulling out his hair, so if you see him next time, he'll probably be bald. So yeah, that's it, and then he'll probably have to change it up because I just revealed everything that's going to happen until then. I don't know, Delisha, did you catch any of that, and what you think of what I said?
Yeah, I do think it's an interesting, pretty layout that could be a good like follow up for like the great storyline we were having with the Bloodline, and now have this great storyline. Well, I guess technically it does still involve the Bloodline with the Rock, but it's of having this almost like new corporate stable, which I think would be, it would be really fun actually. Um, or I did hear someone mention something similar, but I don't know if they had connected it with The Rock, but it was more so like McIntyre, Steph, KO, and someone else of just being like fed up with the way things were going. But I do like the idea of, well, one, definitely I do think that Cody will lose at Mania, and uh because I think I don't we don't need another like long title reign. We don't need those too often. Um, so yeah, I do think that this chapter of that championship story is done and on to a new type of fight, so to speak. So I think that would also be fun to see as well post Mania, and just see uh
Bless you.
thank you. And but also seeing like I said, a new like corporate esque stable once again with Steph. Which is funny because that's just kind of what he does now. I don't know. I mean, not now what he does. That's what he all about. Like, I'm going to put myself in the position to put myself in the best position to be the head of whatever. That would be on track for stuff to do something like that as well. Um, because he's better as a heel. I mean, he's a great face, but he's just so good as a heel. Like it's fun to do him. Um, and then yeah, just seeing the repercussions from that fallout. Sorry, with Cody, and yeah, I would be interested to see if Stone Cold would come back to like almost kind of redeem the time that they didn't bring him back for last year. Just to get that a little bit nice close off that chapter as well. But I think that would have been fun too. So yeah, I'll be really interested to see if a lot of this actually comes to pass. I know you won't let us forget it if it does, but it would be really fun. It would really be fun to see it
I'm telling you,
happen
if
out.
Triple H does not have hair next time you see him, it's because he pulled it out because of me. I'm telling you now. All right. Well, with that, let's go to our finishers. This is your low point, your high point, and your overall grade.
Yeah. The low point. Uh, I'm just gonna give it to the tag match just because I said it didn't feel PLE-esque. It did come about within like the last week also, but not in like a terrible like low point um score. The high point, I think I'm just gonna give it to the two bookends of brutality that we got from Jade kicking Naomi's ass, and then The Rock, Cena, and I guess Sharon Scott as well. Well, I guess beating down Cody again. So those are my high points because those are just like really fun moments that I think we're gonna. That's what everyone's like talking about anyway about their chamber matches is those 2 points. Overall, I think I am gonna give it a solid A. I did enjoy all the matches that we had, and as we like further put our foot on the gas onto the road to WrestleMania. Things are starting to shape into place. So it's like, again, I think it's both of our favorite times of the year for wrestling to really see some good stories come about. So yeah, I think we'll get an overall A, and looking forward to what's gonna happen next.
As for Will gave his high point or his low point to the women's tag match, the high point to the Cena heel turn, and he gave it an A plus. It's funny how kind of coincidental here that we have a picture, for the finishers, the pictures of The Rock and Cena embracing up in the air like that. I was there at that moment, but seeing them hug like that with one arm coming down, it was a nice moment, and now they're best friends, so it's great to see. As for me, the low point for me would have to be the camera work the majority of the evening. I felt the camera work was awful. We were seeing like parts of the arena. I guess they're trying to show AEW what a packed arena looks like. Not even an arena, a stadium. So this was actually a stadium. So that was, I guess, cool to see. But it was weird. Like during a match, someone's like on the turnbuckle like punching, and also go to the arena. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? I think someone was drunk while doing the camera work or whatever. But that happened often during the night. It was like weird camera angles where like someone would be going for a kick and they'll just like show their left leg, like when the kick's happening with their right leg. Like it was like so weird. I don't know what was going on. High point would definitely have to be the Cena heel turn. And overall grade I've been A, which is like probably the highest grade I've given in a while. Not an A plus because it wasn't perfect. There were some lulls in the evening. But yeah, A is a solid grade for me, especially for me because I don't usually give out A's that often. So this was a good night. I think that with 4 matches, it really gave enough time, like you said, for every match to breathe. A lot of stories are being told, which you really enjoy too. Stuff like that. So I don't know. I really seem to have enjoyed it, and I'm happy with how it turned out. But I guess with that, Felicia, where can we find you, and any more videos coming out? Because I know it's been a little while.
Yeah. I'm still kind of up in the air on how my content or lack thereof, or how it will go forward. Life is just really crazy right now to where even if like filming content is usually okay, it's the editing and getting it out there part that really leaves things like in limbo. So if you would like to keep a follow up of what's going on with that, you can follow me on Instagram and YouTube at Delisha Renee TV, where I did family lifestyle and recipe videos. Again, I would like to create more content, but the way life is going right now, especially because I also, if you don't know, I work a full time job and a mom to 2 young children. So just those two alone it's chaotic enough.
Yeah, as always, her information is in the description below. Felicia knows good and well that she could just leave Rose and Solo to themselves. They'll form a bloodline and start doing their own stuff. She's just worried about that they're gonna turn heel like Uncle Cal, which I'm all for because we need more heels around. That house is too good, especially at crosswalks. And the only people who know that joke is Delisha, Joe, and Raj, and myself. So if you actually come out and hang out with us when AfterMat is somewhere, you'll learn about the joke about the crosswalks. Because there is a meaning behind that. But yes, as for me, the next time you'll see us here will be for WrestleMania AfterMat. WrestleMania is a 2-night event, Saturday and Sunday, April 19th and 20th. So you'll see us on Monday the 21st, probably starting earlier than usual. I believe Will be joining us for that as well, because it's a long event with many matches, so we'll probably be splitting it up that way. And that'll be followed in a few weeks by the AfterMat Awards, the season-ending awards. But that is the season finale, the WrestleMania show. So stay tuned for that. And that'll be the season. We're in season 8 right now. That'll be the season 8 finale. I think it's season 8, right? Almost getting to 10 seasons. We got this thing for 10 seasons. I don't know what it is. But with that said, I have one more thing to say about this whole night. I gotta say, fuck Cody Rhodes, fuck Dave LaGreca, and all the other Cody crybabies out there, but especially fuck Dave LaGreca. I hope he sees this and he feels it. The secret boss to you, Dave LaGreca. All right? Until next time, the secret boss is always right. All you guys are wrong. We'll see you guys later.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow